Hi guys. Today's afternoon story is from Tatterhood and Other Tales, and it is called The Black Bull of Norroway. Long ago, in Norroway, there lived a woman who had 3 daughters. Off they went one day to learn their fortunes from an old woman who lived in the forest. The oldest daughter was told she would marry an earl, the second daughter that she would marry a lord, and the youngest a black bull. The 2 older sisters were very pleased with their fortunes, but the youngest sister laughed and said, "No matter, I'll be content with the black bull of Norroway." Her sisters warned her not to jest of such a monster, lest it become true. "I'm not so eager to marry," she declared. "I'll stay at home until the black bull comes to court me." Well, the 2 older sisters went out into the world, and one did marry an earl, and the other did marry a lord. Nonetheless, the youngest sister was quite surprised one day to see a great big black bull at the door. At first, the girl was afraid, but the bull seemed gentle and quiet. He looked at her with steady eyes and said he'd come to fetch her. "I promised I would be content with the black bull of Norroway," she said to her mother, "and I will keep my word." So she climbed onto his back, and off they went. And always the bull chose the smoothest paths, the easiest roads, and was careful not to brush against thorns or briars. On they rode until the girl was almost faint with hunger. The black bull said to her in a soft, friendly voice, "Reach into my right ear and you will find food. Reach into my left ear and you will find drink." She did so, and after drinking and eating, she gathered the remains in her kerchief to eat later. Toward evening, they came in sight of a fine castle. "Yonder lives my eldest brother," said the black bull, "and there we must stay tonight." When they arrived at the castle, the girl was made welcome, and the black bull was sent out to the fields with others of his kind. The next morning, before she took leave, she was given a golden walnut by the people in the castle. They told her not to break it open until she was in the worst trouble ever a person could be, and then it would help her. She climbed onto the back of the black bull, and they traveled on through the forests and over mountains. From the black bull's right ear she had food, and from his left ear she had drink. On the way, they talked with each other, and the girl found him a cheerful companion. When evening drew near, they came in sight of a castle grander than the first one. The black bull said, "Yonder my second brother lives, and there we must stay this night." The girl was made welcome by the people of the castle, and this time she asked that the black bull be fed well and stabled, for she had become very fond of him. The next morning, before they set off again, she was given a large golden hickory nut by the castle folk. They told her not to use it until she was in the worst trouble in the world, and it would bring her through it. Again, the black bull magically provided food and drink, and they talked as they traveled on. That evening they reached a very grand castle. "Yonder lives my youngest brother," said the bull, "and here we must stay the night." The girl was made welcome at the castle, but she would not leave the black bull until she made sure he was brushed and fed and settled comfortably in the stable. The next morning she was given a large golden hazelnut by the castle folk. Again, she was told not to open it until she was in the worst straits ever, and then it would help her. Now they rode on and on until they reached a dark and ugsome glen. The Black Bull told her that the time had come for him to try to break his enchantment. The bull halted, and she slid down from his back. "Here you must stay while I go on and fight the Old One," said the bull. "He is powerful, and I do not know what monstrous shape he will be. If I destroy him, the troll's enchantment will be broken, and I will once more be a man." The Black Bull then led her to a great rock. "There is one thing you must do. You must sit on this rock, and move neither hand nor foot while I'm gone, or I shall never find you again. If everything around you turns blue, it will mean I have beaten the creature. But if all things turn red, he will have conquered me." And with a loud bellow, the Black Bull set out to find his foe. The girl sat upon the rock, still as she could be, moving neither hand nor foot. She waited and waited and waited. Then all around her turned blue. In the far distance, through the eerie blue light, she glimpsed the tall and blood-stained figure of a knight. Overcome with joy at her friend's victory, she moved her foot. Long she waited, but he did not return, for the enchantment was but partly broken, and though he searched for her in the glen, he could not find her. Then she wept, for she knew that by moving her foot she had failed to help him break the enchantment. He was still under the power of the trolls. She touched the 3 golden nuts in her pocket, but the time had not yet come to use them. She would search for him and free him if she could. Wearily, she got up and walked on and on for many days, till she came to a great hill of glass. Round the bottom of the hill she went, trying to climb it, but she could not. At last she came to a smith's forge. The smith promised he would make her iron shoes to climb the hill of glass, if she would work for him for 7 months and 7 days. She worked in the forge for 7 months and 7 days, and the smith gave her the iron shoes. He warned her that the glass hill led to the country of the trolls, but she paid him no mind and climbed the hill. When she reached the land of the trolls, she heard talk of a gallant knight who was forced to dwell among them. They were determined the knight should marry one of the troll women, but he had refused even the troll princess. He had said he could marry no one until the blood was washed from his clothes. It was proclaimed that whoever could wash the knight's garments clean should be his bride. There was a great clatter as one troll woman after another tried to wash the torn, blood-stained garments. Their hairy bodies glistened, and their red eyes gleamed as they scrubbed and washed, but the bloodstains would not come out. When the troll princess saw the strange girl who had come into their land, she set her to work washing the knight's bloody garments. When the girl washed the clothes, the stains came out at once, leaving the garments pure and clean. But the troll princess brought the garments to the captive knight, and claimed that she herself had washed them clean, and that she would marry him. Now the girl was in despair. The marriage was to be held the next day. How could she save him? Surely this was the time to open the golden walnut. She broke it open, and found it was full of precious jewels. She knew all trolls are greedy, so she brought them to the troll princess and said, All these I will give you if you put off the wedding one day, and let me go into the bridegroom's chamber alone at night." The troll princess agreed, but she gave the young knight a sleeping potion in the evening. When the girl went into the room of her beloved, he was sleeping heavily, and she could not wake him. She spoke to him, called to him, and sang to him, "In the smith's forge I worked for thee, the glassy hill I climbed for thee, thy bloody clothes I wrung for thee. Wilt thou not waken and turn to me?" But he slept on and did not waken. When dawn came, the girl left, and he never knew she had been there. The next day her heart was full of grief. She broke open the golden hickory nut, and the jewels inside were more brilliant than the others. So again she offered the rich jewels to the greedy troll princess, if she would put off the wedding one more day, and allow her to stay the night in the room where the young man slept. But again the troll princess gave the knight a sleeping potion. Again the girl tried to wake him. She called to him, and she sang to him, "The smith's forge I worked for thee, the glassy hill I climbed for thee, thy bloody clothes I wrung for thee. Wilt thou not waken and turn to me?" But he slept heavily until morning, and never knew she had been there. The girl felt her heart would break. She had only the hazelnut left, so she opened it, and inside were the most brilliant jewels of all. When she showed these jewels to the troll princess, the princess could not resist them. She agreed to allow the girl in the room one last night. Now it happened that same day the young man overheard two troll servants talking together about the strange sighs and singing in the captive knight's chamber. The young man resolved to stay awake that night to see who came into his room. He suspected that the posset he was given to drink that evening was a sleeping potion, and he secretly poured it away. This time the girl found the young knight wide awake when she entered his room. He recognized her at once, and as soon as they embraced each other, the troll's spell was broken, finally and completely. While all around them slept, they silently left the house and hurried away from the land of the trolls. They slid down the glass hill and made their way back to their own country. And there, in a fine castle of their own, they lived in peace and contentment ever after. The end.